everyone, Jason here, digital marketing consultant, and in this Google Ads tutorial for beginners, you're going to learn what the heck Google Ads are, how they work, and most importantly, the top 5 reasons you might want to avoid them like the plague if you're looking for a viable solution for driving more traffic and sales to your business. So make sure you check out the timestamp table of contents in the description, along with some other helpful videos that will walk you through how to set up Google Ads if you decide it's right for you. So before we get into those 5 big warnings, let's go ahead and talk about what Google Ads are and how they actually work to potentially drive more customers and sales, keyword being potentially. So you have 4 different ad types. You have search, you have display, you have video, and you have app. Of course, app is all about downloading mobile applications. Video are ads that are displayed across YouTube and some search partners. Google display ads are ones that show up in Gmail and across other websites. And then of course, the one we're going to be focusing on is search, which are the ads that show up on the search results page. So here's how Google Ads work for search. Someone is looking to buy something. So they head over to Google and they type in whatever their question or query or product they're looking for is. And as an advertiser, you can say, hey, when someone types that in, I want my ad to show up. And that's pretty much as complicated as it gets. Of course, when we get to warning number 3, you're going to see that it can actually get pretty convoluted pretty fast, but that's just a basic overview. Someone goes to Google because they're looking for something. You say, hey, when someone is looking for this, then show my ad, and then you have the opportunity for them to click on your ad, which is when you pay, and then they go to your website, or if they're doing it on their phone, they can click and directly call you if you're doing call ads. I won't get into the different types of ads you can do on search, but that's just a general overview of how search ads work. So why would you not want to do these, right? Because there's a lot of reasons why you might want to do these, because it's a great opportunity to get in front of people who are actively looking for your product or service. But here's the big downside. Other businesses have already figured out that they can find customers on Google, which means prices are high and they're going to continue to go up as more and more businesses jump on the Google advertising train. So here's the thing, unless you're going to spend at least $1,500 a month for the next 3 to 4 months, Google search ads is not a good solution for you. Now, this doesn't mean at minimum you have to spend $1,500 in order to be successful. It's just a good rule of thumb or bar to look at, because your first 2 to 3 months, you're probably not going to see a great return, if any, because it's just a time to learn and test. So if you have a tight marketing budget and you're trying to figure out where can I immediately spend some money and actually start seeing some results back because you don't have any time to test, then Google Ads really isn't the place for you. Google Ads is a proven platform, but it's an expensive platform, especially if you're just joining, because there are a lot of PPC nerds, or pay-per-click nerds, that's what PPC stands for, who do Google Ads day in and day out. And it's just not reasonable as a beginner to think that you can jump on the platform and be successful and compete with those people who pretty much do it every single day. Now, the second big reason you might not want to do Google Ads is if you have a long lead time. Google Ads are great for local services-based businesses because you can target by geolocation, like a city or a zip code or a state. And then if you're selling products online via an e-commerce store, you can have your product listing show up exactly when someone's looking for the exact product that you have, which is awesome. But if you're in a niche or industry, or you have a service where it takes a longer period of time to educate your potential prospect and warm them up to the idea of doing business with you, then Google Ads probably isn't the best place to spend your advertising dollars, because Google Ads is great for people who are actively looking to buy right now. It's not necessarily always an impulse buy, but it's an easy way to think of Google Ads as an impulse buy versus trying to warm people up and bring them into a prolonged sales process. Now, the third reason Google Ads might not be for you is if you're not a type A OCD personality. So in the beginning of this tutorial video, I talked about how search ads work, right? Someone types something in and you say, hey, when they type that in, I want my ad to show up. Well, the problem is via something called match types, which we won't get convoluted and get into. Essentially, you can tell Google how strict you want to be with what someone is typing in. And part of the problem is, unless you know exactly what people are typing in, you're going to spend a lot of money figuring out which search phrases actually produce the results that you want, meaning customers. And then also number 2, it's really hard to know what keywords are actually working if you're not super OCD, because Google will show your ad pretty much anytime it is remotely possible to show your ad. And this just goes into Google's business model, right? The more they show you your ad and the more it gets clicked, the more they make money. But they don't make money necessarily by sending you the most qualified traffic, which means you can get a lot of unqualified traffic from Google search ads. Now, I almost didn't include this because I know there's going to be some people in the comments who say, well, that's really the advertiser's fault. And that's true to an extent. But when you're just getting started, you're not going to know which keywords are going to be good and going to be bad, or which keywords are going to give you a bunch of unqualified people hitting your website who are just looky-loos, right? And so you're going to get a lot of unqualified traffic. And even after a few months, you could possibly still be paying for unqualified traffic. So that's a big downside. And that's why in number one, I talk about needing a significant budget and the stomach to continue to spend that amount of money while you try and filter out all those unqualified people. Now, the fourth big warning I have for you here, a reason you don't want to use Google Ads, is if you're going to just rely on Google setting it up for you. Now, there's going to be some pushback on this, but when it comes to Google Ads reps, they really aren't experts when it comes to setting up your account. Just as an example, not necessarily a brag, we had a client who spent over $14K over 6 months, and in just 2 weeks of reworking his account and $750, we cut his cost per click by half, and he got more leads off that $750 than he did in spending $14K and 6 months. And this is something we see as a digital agency over and over and over and over again, to the point where I just can't in good conscience say that you can trust a Google ad rep to help you set up your account. And you have to think of it this way too. You're working with a company that's incentivized to have you spend more money and pay more per click, set up your account. So there's just an inherent conflict of interest. And by the way, the Google ad reps that agencies have access to and you have access to as an individual are two very different sets of people. So if you're working with an agency and they say they have a Google ads rep, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Those Google ad reps are very different. The ones that work with agencies who spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, we get to talk to very different people than individuals who are just spending a few thousand a month. Now, the final one, number 5, is definitively answer the question, is Google Ads a scam? And the answer is no. There is a lot of hate thrown at Google Ads out there for a variety of reasons, many that we've talked about. Number one, budget. Google Ads will just burn your budget like no other, right? You're going to get a lot of unqualified people in the beginning. If you're not careful and turning off your campaigns at the right time, Google will continue to spend your ad budget, and they're very unforgiving when it comes to a runaway ad spend. They're also extremely strict when it comes to the types of ads that run. And so you can set up an account on Monday and get a warning on Tuesday and be completely banned from the platform on Wednesday. They just don't care about the individual advertiser, and suspensions and banning go on across the board for a variety of reasons. However, when it comes down to the relationship between advertisers and Google and the breakup and saying, oh, it's not you, it's me, well, 9.9 out of 10 times, it's not Google, it's the advertiser. And so Google isn't a scam. Google Ads are not a scam, but you do have to be so on top of things in order to make sure that you don't lose a lot of money. Because at the end of the day, Google has no responsibility for whether or not your ads perform well, for whether or not you get any sales or leads out of your ads. And really, they don't care, because their service is simple. They provide you an opportunity to get in front of potential customers. And that's it. It's up to you as the advertiser to figure out the rest. And I strongly recommend you check out the links in the description to in-depth Google Ads tutorial videos that will help you get set up on the right track and curtail a lot of that wasted ad spend or the stupid tax that a lot of new Google advertisers wind up paying. So I hope you found this video helpful and just a bunch of cautions as you get started with Google Ads, or you might decide, hey, you know what? I don't really want to deal with all that. I don't want to do Google ads, YouTube ads and Facebook ads are two other very viable platforms that are significantly cheaper and give you a lot more flexibility in terms of testing, because your $1,500 or $2,000 is going to go a lot further on those platforms. So let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions about running Google ads, or if you've had any problems or successes with Google ads, because your experience is going to help other business owners figure out whether or not Google ads is right for them. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth tutorials and walkthrough videos just like this one. And until the next one, keep building the business you love.